Yay! All right. And this evening, our first panelist is none other than Miss Sheila Moore-Piper herself. Woo! We are so excited. Yay! Miss Sheila Moore-Piper, can you address the audience, please?
Hello, hello. How you doing? I'm so glad to be here with you today.
Miss Sheila Moore-Piper, I'm going to start showing a little bit of your professional pictures. Can you please let the audience know how long you've been in the artistry? Miss Sheila Moore-Piper is a vocalist. She's going to tell you some of the things, how long she's been in the industry, and some of the things that she's done. Miss Sheila?
Oh wow. That picture is dope.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
a real nice picture. Yeah, you know what? I started writing music when I was 8 years old, but I did not get into the industry until years later after the Lord had me go through with my teaching career. I taught for about maybe 15, 16, 17 years. And
Wow.
then I started doing music, recording about 2008, 2009. I was still teaching in the field full time, so I wasn't full time at the time in music. I did not become full time in music until the year of 2014.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so it's about maybe 12 years in the music industry, but full time, maybe about 6, 7 years in.
Wow, wow. And you're not only just an artist, but you sing. She's a producer, she's a lyricist, she writes, she's an arranger, she's a teacher. You want to expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? It's a blessing to have so many gifts, and I mean, it's to be a multitasker, and I'm just really blessed to be able to be a songwriter, to be a producer. You know, a lot of people don't like to say that, but we are. You know, if you are a lyricist, you are also a producer as well,
That's
and
right.
an arranger. So I'm just blessed to be able to have gifts to be able to share with the world and be able to share with whoever the Lord allows me to share the gifts with.
And so I am excited to that Miss Sheila Piper agreed to be on the panel this evening, this month actually. I call her personally the researcher because because she is so serious about being an artist, and she's educated in this. She went to college for this, and so her degrees are in music, but she is a researcher by nature. I always call her the researcher.
I am.
And
You're right.
so when she agreed to be a panelist on Shanrae's Indie Artist panel for this month, the research part of it was just natural. It was just a natural thing. And without further ado, I'm going to get out the way, and Miss Sheila Moore-Piper is going to introduce her topic, and then we're going to go from there. Miss Sheila Moore-Piper.
All righty. Okay. All right. My topic is called the research. That's my topic, the research.
Yes.
And the definition of research. According to your dictionary website, the word research means to do careful and organized study, gathering of information about a specific topic, track down information, or gain knowledge about a specific subject matter. I will use the word research to specify how it applies to the indie artists. Key point number one.
Yeah.
Key point number one, how to educate yourself as an indie artist. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all thy getting, get understanding. Knowledge is power, so please get knowledge. Research is so important to the independent artist because the 21st century independent artist has to find creative and or different ways to market oneself. The grind is real.
Oh,
The
yes.
grind is real.
Oh,
Let me
yes.
expound on that a little bit. You can have great talent, but you must take the time to learn the business. I always tell people there's a difference between the old music business and the new music business.
Right.
In the old music business, some particular record companies, they always, they accommodate the artists by having different entities within their record label,
Right.
such as some had a booking agent, some had advertiser, some had A&R rep department, some had choreographer, choreography for the artists, tell them how to stand, how to look when you come out on stage. Some had wardrobe. All of that was pretty much a package when the artists came on board. They had that package for the artists. But right now in the 21st century, the way they do things now, the new music business, you don't really get all of that. So you have to be all of that. You have to learn how to brand yourself. You have to learn how to be the promoter. You have to be the advertiser. You have to be the marketing agent. You have to be actually involved in your career. You can't leave it up to anybody else to be involved in your career and where you want to go. So never leave it up to anyone else to make you successful. You have to be involved. That is one of the goals. I mean, I like to say that's one of the attributes of being a 21st century independent artist. That's what you have to do.
That's right.
And you may ask, well, what is the blueprint? There is no blueprint. When you're in teaching, you have a blueprint, and since because you're a teacher too.
Yes.
You have a blueprint, and the blueprint could be A, B, C, D. But in music, it's not like that.
No.
You just have to, when you start, put your record, get your record together, and you mix and master, and you work on marketing and work on promotions. You just have to start, getting the research done and saying, okay, this is where we want to go with it. So, and I can also say with social media, because research includes so many different things. If you are doing social media, if you're on Facebook, and that's great, because you may know how to work Facebook, but you may not know how to work Twitter. So you're going to have to learn how to do Twitter. And I'll share a story. I remember years ago when I first started out full time, I was on Facebook, but I wasn't on Twitter. And to be successful to me as an artist, you need to be on several different social media sites, not just one. Get on one that's uncomfortable. A lot of people don't, Twitter, they say Twitter can be a little uncomfortable, but if you know how to work it, it's not. But anyway, my husband was working my page for me. And he told me, he said, you're going to have to start working your page because the people want to hear from you.
Right.
So I had to learn how to work it. And at first I was a little confused about how this goes and how that goes. But once I learned how to start working it, I was on it till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, talking to people, talking to artists, talking to other producers, just talking to other different people. So I said all that to say, even though it may be uncomfortable, and it's going to be uncomfortable,
Right.
but if you keep at it and do it daily, day by day, about where you want to go and where you want to be, then, it'll work for you. It'll get more comfortable as you do it. So I want to say this, be involved and be present. Be involved
Yes.
and be present.
Yes.
Be involved and be present. You're going to hear that a lot throughout this presentation. All right. Key point number 2. Key point number 2. ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or Sound Exchange. Which one works for you? All of these PROs plus one are great, but which one will work best for you? Please choose wisely. ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC are all different platforms, but they have one common theme that's common, and that's to keep the artist's music being played. They monitor the artist's music being played on TV and radio. That's what they have in common. Okay, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, the amazing performing rights organizations that are considered homes to the songwriter. Also, if you are a publisher and if you are an author, you also can join one of these organizations. You must choose the one that works best for you. Case in point, I'm an ASCAP member. I used to be one of the others, but I decided to go ASCAP because ASCAP works best for me. Doesn't mean that the other one that I was in wasn't great. It just means that ASCAP works best. So that's why I asked which one works best for you. I chose ASCAP because I'm a research buff, as Sis said. I like to research. And ASCAP is always sending little things. Every day they send an email out about what's going on and what's changing in this and what's changing in that. They want you to stay up on what's going on because in this business, you have to stay innovative. You have to stay innovative. That is one of the things about research. And my second degree is in music business, so it helps. Even though I have a music degree, my second degree is in music business. I still have to be innovative for what's going on now, because the music business is always changes. It's so innovative. So research is so important by you paying attention, and by you just looking at what's going on now with publishing, what's going on with the different companies, what's moving around, and who's doing this and what's doing that. So just make sure you stay innovative and change with it. Now, ASCAP, I also like ASCAP because ASCAP has a music business conference called I Create Music. They have it every year, around April or May. And it's a 3-day conference. You go in on a Thursday, and then it doesn't end till like Saturday. I love the way they do their conference because they have so many classes. Simultaneously, they have classes going back to back to back to back to back, sometime at the same time. My husband and I went some years ago. We were able to sometimes sit in the same class, and sometimes we were able to break off. And he went to a class and I went to a class, so we can study the things that we needed to help us in what we needed to, do in our music careers, to be able to help other people and other individuals. So they also have things like luncheons. They have showcases. They just have stuff going on all day long that will help you as an independent artist. Well, you can go and get the knowledge. You can talk to different people, and you can network, and you can research and take advantage of the resources. And it was just a blessing to have so many members pour into you. So in these organizations, you have different other artists as well. And while you're going, they're pouring into you as well. And so you're also getting the research from them pouring into you. So ASCAP works for me. Now, there is a fee to go, but it's okay. Once again, you have to be involved, be present, and be innovative, because this is, this is what we do as 21st century artists. Digital sound change. Digital sound change is a digital service platform. It is not a PRO. You can join ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, but, and like, say, for example, I'm an ASCAP member. Well, I'm an ASCAP member, but I also can join Sound Exchange.
Right.
Because Sound Exchange is digital. It deals with your music being played on all digital platforms. Okay? ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, they will monitor and collect the royalties that's on TV and that's on a terrestrial radio. And they may do some digital stuff. But Sound Exchange, that's all they do. They just do digital. And even though when you register, you still have to have your IRSC codes off your records to be able to enter into the system, so you can get paid your royalties on the digital end with Sound Exchange, and so you can get paid your royalties also from your PRO as well. So make sure whenever you join a PRO, make sure you also register for Sound Exchange. Okay? All right. Key point number 3. Now, this is one of my topics that I like. I like all of it. But this right here.
Yes.
This topic right here. Oof. Building your radio relationships around your music genre. It is imperative to have great relationships in the music industry, especially in radio. Say it again, radio. Radio. It is imperative to have great relationships in the music industry, especially in radio.
Yes.
I am sure you've heard people say things like, well, internet radio is not real radio. Yes, that what they said is not true. The truth is, internet radio is real radio.
Yes, it is.
And relationships are to be respected. Radio relationships are a plus for independent artists. It is imperative that you research and build relationships with radio personalities that will play your song. All radio stations are formatted differently. So if you have a song, say for example, if you are a traditional artist and you send your music to a station who plays only Christian hip hop, your song may not be played on that station. Number one, because it's not formatted. It's not formatted to that station. All radio stations are different. So you have to know the genre of music that you're doing And make sure when you send your music off to radio stations, make sure you send it to the correct ones that will play your song.
Right.
You know, and I know some people may say, well, I sent my music to them and they didn't play it. Well, ask yourself this question. Did your music, did your song fit their radio format?
Right.
Because if your song didn't fit their format, then, you know, they're not, you know, really, you know, they really don't have to play it. So it's not that they're being rude or anything like that. You have to do the research to know where your song's supposed to go. And this is why research is so important. So when you are searching out radio stations, make sure you're researching the ones that have something to do with your genre of music.
Yes.
Because what you don't want to do is keep sending your music to a radio station that's not going to play it.
Right.
And also, if you have a radio provider doing radio work for you, please just do not leave it up to them to send your song out and then think that they're supposed to be responsible only for your song getting played. I think some people do that. Some people say, well, I have a radio service provider and they doing this for me and that. No, you know, you still have to do follow-up. Case in point, let me share an example with you. Years ago, when we were first marketing Get Excited, years ago, my song Get Excited, we hired somebody to do some work for us. And thought they were sending the stuff out and they were sending me charts back. And I'm thinking, oh, they doing what they're supposed to be doing and I'm getting charts. But one day I got a chart and the Lord checked me in my spirit and said, I need you to call this person. Call the person who they sent the music to. And I was like, okay, why would I need to do that? But I did. And when I called one of the particular persons, that particular person, I called two people. The first person I called them and they told me, they said, and I just left the conference. So they knew who I was when I called them. They said, Sheila, we got your music, but we got it from you and not the person who you're talking about. We didn't get the music from them. We got it from you. And then I said, okay, that's one person. I called another person. The second person I called, the person wasn't going to pick the phone up. But but he said the Lord told him to pick the phone. So he picked the phone up. And I asked him, I said, well, have you received this song? Did you get this song? He said, first of all, we're a talk show radio. We don't even play music. Can you imagine my surprise when I found out that the charts that they were sending us were not the actual charts that were going out. And they did not look like what they say they were doing. So, of course, you know, we had to get up on that and make some adjustments. But I said all that to say, you have a responsibility to make sure that if you do hire a radio provider, that you make sure and go behind them to make sure that they are doing what they say they are doing. Don't just leave it up to them. Don't leave it up to them. Okay? You make sure you know where your music is going, and you make sure you know who's playing it. And again, internet radio stations are real. They're radio. They're radio. You know, I mean, right now, let me explain what I mean by that. Right now, internet radio have charts. They have digital tracking charts. Yes. And so when your song is played, they're also able to track your song as well. Now, it used to be a time when internet radio first just got started. Some of them had BDS monitoring systems and some of them didn't. And back when they first got started, they were just marketing. They just played your song for marketing purposes. But now, some of these, a lot of these internet radio stations, they have digital tracking charts. Yes. So then they let you know who's being played. Your song is being played. They'll let you know. They'll tag you and tell you, hey, your song is being played on this chart. Your song is played here. And I know some people always want, you know, they may say, well, I want to be on the big charts, the billboards. Well, you know, I'm not saying you're not going to never reach for Billboard, and that's a high goal to reach. But there's nothing wrong with you being on internet charts. Yes. Because you get in where you fit in. That's right. You know, when you start talking about Billboard charts and all that stuff, you got to understand most of the artists that are on those charts are already with big record labels. Right. And my motto is, I always says, hey, if you got a big machine pushing you, you should be on the charts.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Yeah. If you have a big machine pushing you, you should be on the charts. You should be nominated for this, and you should be nominated for that. Because to me, if you're on a record label and you're not making charts and stuff, I mean, what is their role in your career? Why are you,
Right.
so I said all this to say, if you are called to be an independent artist, just work radio the way you need to work it. And if internet is where you fit in, well, okay, be grateful for that right now. It
Yes.
doesn't mean that you're never not going to reach the Billboard charts. You have to
Right.
start somewhere. So
Yes.
start with the internet charts first. There's nothing wrong with that
That's
because
right.
internet radio is real radio.
Yes, it
So
is.
it's real radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, somebody just told me something. A mainstream artist just shared something with me that I want to share with you. It says, if you make the charts, great. But if you don't, use your gift of music to share with the world.
Yes.
No, that's what the Lord gave you the gift of music for. If you make the
That,
charts, that's great. But
that's
if
right.
you don't make the charts, just know that a great song will always find a home.
Oh, yes.
A great song will always find a home.
That's right.
And I want to say I want to also talk about this. Make sure when you are dealing with radio, or anybody for that matter, that you have a good attitude.
Yes.
When communicating with radio personalities, please make sure you have a great attitude.
Yes.
Please don't come off as condescending because radio stations do not have to play your song.
Yes.
They don't have to play you. You can have a great song, but when let's say for example, even on Twitter, when they're when they play your song, say thank you or or do a retweet or something like that. Let them
Yes.
know that you appreciate them playing your song.
That's right.
Just don't think they're supposed to play your song. There's a lot of great songs out there, and they don't have to play yours.
Ooh,
They don't have to
that's
play yours.
that's right.
So just make sure when you talk on the radio, make sure when you're approaching them about if you want to know, hey, I sent you a song, I just wanted to know, did you get it? I just wanted to make sure. Okay, well, thank you so very much. I'll be listening in on your station. I just want to thank you so much for playing it. If you get the time, they like that kind of stuff when you talk to them and to talk to them and just let them know that you respect them and they'll respect you.
That's right.
Now, you have some radio, you have some people who, I say it like this. If you have someone that's in your inbox and they say, hey, send me an MP3, I've learned, do not just send them an MP3.
Right.
Do a research on that particular person. Do they
Yes.
have a Facebook page? Do they have an Instagram page? Do they have a Twitter page? Are they legitimate? Because you could be sending your MP3 to just anybody.
That's right.
So make sure that when they ask you for music, make sure you do your research on them because they're probably most likely going to do their research on you.
That's right.
So you might as well do your research on them as well.
That's right.
So just make sure you research. Now, also, if somebody inboxes you and they're kind of inappropriate, if they give an inappropriate message, you don't have to take any of that. What you can do is just go another direction. You can say, thank you so much for your time, but I've decided to go another direction.
That's right.
Because the rule of thumb is to make sure both parties have to be respectable.
Yes.
The artist and radio has to be
Yes.
respected.
That's
Okay,
right.
so you give respect, you give it, you get it back. So once again, be involved, be present. Be involved and be present. Key point number 4. Key point number 4. Proper research creates results in the development of your artistry. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's one of my favorite things I learned early on. So continue on the path of making research a regular thing. You are not a duplicate of anybody else. You are an original. So it's up to you to walk your path and be the star of your own show. Be the star of your own show. Do your research. I have learned a very valuable lesson about research. When somebody, like I just said, when somebody inboxes you and they say they have a radio show, we just talked about this, just make sure you do your research on them. Okay, just make sure make sure they got a page. Make sure they have a page on Twitter. Make sure they have a page on Instagram. Make sure they have a page on Facebook.
Right.
And if they do have a page on Facebook, connect with them.
Right.
So your song you will know that your song is being played. So when they play it, you can say thank you to them.
Right.
You can make sure you're saying thank you to them.
That's right.
And please know that good music, I'm going to say it again, good music will always find a home.
That's
Keep
right.
pushing your music. Now, this right here I want to talk about because sometimes, people say, well, I just want to get my music out here and I want to reach this person and that, and I want to do this and this. Okay, there are 15 million people out there that may not know who you are.
Right.
And that is okay. You got to know who you're called to reach. Everybody is don't try to reach all 15 million right now if you're not called to reach 15 million.
That's right.
Once again, big right me with me, the big machines and their artists, they push their artists. So yeah, they're gonna have those millions and millions of views because they have a big machine pushing them.
Right.
When you are an independent artist, you have to take stuff little by little, step by step, baby steps towards your goal.
That's right.
So you can't, get upset or I think it's a competition thing because somebody reached 10,000 and you only reached 500. No, if you only call to reach 100 or 500, be okay with that.
That's right.
Some people are only called to reach 1,000. Some maybe
Mm-hmm.
10,000 plus. But if you are only called to reach 500, just work the 500 or whatever it is you call to reach, and do what you do, and do it well,
That's right.
and be the best that you can be. Because if you
That's right.
don't look at it this way, what's going to happen is you're going to be very frustrated.
Yes.
You're going to become a very frustrated artist, and you're going to always try to be, you don't want to be in competition. You want to understand that this is not a game of competition. You are a compliment to others calling. You're not in
Yes.
competition with anybody.
That's
Only
right.
person you're in competition with is you.
It's you. That's right. That's right.
that's that's why I said be the star in your show. If you're the star in your show, then you don't have to worry about being the star in nobody else's because you are the star in yours.
Right. That's right.
So be okay with who the Lord called you to, well, who He called you to reach, and what number He called you to reach. Don't try to be like somebody else. Be you. Know your vision, music, and purpose.
That's
Be
right.
you. Know what your vision is, your music, and your purpose. And also, there are several platforms that can help you with your artistry. I just want to give you a few of those. For gospel artists, Let's Talk Gospel. They have a call every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to call in they're also on Twitter. You can reach out to them on Twitter as well, and they have the call every Tuesday night. And Mr. Henry Harris, who is one of my mentors in the music industry. I joined his Excellence in Christian Music Academy early on. He's also the founder of Strategic Partnerships. He has different um, conferences and things and things like that can help you as well. That he talks about Jackster, he talks about the Spotify charts, he talks about Billboard charts. He talks about metadata. Metadata is very important for making sure that your song is coded right. So when you get ready to get your song played and you want to say you want to be on Billboard and say you want to be in these different platforms and charts, your song has got to be tagged correctly. Because if your song is not metadata, it doesn't have metadata on it, it's not tagged correctly, it can't chart. So he talks about that. And also, this platform, Shanrae, Indie, this particular platform right here, Shanrae and Dupree, this beautiful platform right here, the Indie Artist panel that helps you learn and keeps you innovative. There's so many different, resources that help you. So make sure you get plugged in. Make sure you plug in. Philip Carter, he has for gospel artists, he has a conference that he does every year in July, Chesapeake, Virginia. It's called the Indie Gospel Alliance Conference. He's been holding that conference now for years now, and it's so much great information. We had a chance to go, my husband and I, years ago, and I learned. That's where I learned about radio providers. I learned about so many different things that can help you with your career and help you further your career. So just keep on the lookout. I mean, Facebook is always posting. Now, every little thing, every conference or something that is not for you. So you
Right.
have to choose the ones that's really going to pinpoint what you need at the time. If you need something for marketing, if you need something for booking, if you need to know how to even develop your team, you have different conferences and different resources and people with the resources that'll talk about these things. And right now we're in the pandemic. This is the time for you to be learning all that you can possibly learn about the business or
Mhm.
something that you want to know or something that you want to know something about. So you take advantage of what's going on right now and take advantage of the platforms.
Yes.
Take advantage of all the platforms that are up on the screen that are given right now. All right, so remember, you know, success is not a destination. It is a journey. It's a journey. So as long as you take a step, God will help you. So don't forget to ask the Lord to help you. Because
Yes.
if you ask Him, He will direct your steps. Because
Yes.
in this, you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some directing. So just ask Him to help you with your journey, direct your journey, and He will
Yes.
send you people that will help you and lead you and guide you in the right way. Last
Yes.
time, I just want to say it one more time. Final words: success is not a destination; it's a journey. So please be present, be involved in your career, and do your research. And you'll
Awesome.
be
Thank
successful.
you.
You'll be
Yes.
successful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sheila Moore-Piper. I call her the researcher. She is the researcher. Thank you so much for expounding on your topic this evening, the research. Thank you so much. I want to bring you back again later on for a later panel that I'll have later on. But I appreciate you so much for giving of your time, your wisdom, your hard research, and sharing it amongst and sharing it with the viewers on this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So how can the people get in contact with you, uh Miss Sheila Moore
Well,
Piper?
first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Shanrae, for having me. I mean, I just thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that's listening in. And thank you so much for tuning in and as we share our knowledge with you. And just thank you for your time. You can reach me. I
Oh,
have several ways you can reach me. I am on Facebook, Miss Shishi, MSSHEE, as well as I'm also, you look me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at MSSHELIA, Miss Sheila. I have two websites, SheilaMorePiper.com, and I have the BDMU Groove Music.com. That's a website, and you can reach me there. Or you can also email us at bdm.ugroovemusic@gmail.com.
yes.
Again, the
Well,
email
we.
is
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's bdm.ugroove@gmail.com.
Yes. So we are again elated. Thank you so much for being a part of Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel for October 2020. This is the researcher herself, Miss Sheila Moore-Piper. And it is an honor. What an honor to have you on this evening to share with everyone. So, without further ado, we're going to move on to our next guest. Thank you again, Miss Sheila Moore-Piper. And
Thank you so much for having me, Sharon Ray. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
awesome. God bless.
God bless. Blessings.